All right. So once upon a time, there was a woman and her 3 daughters. The youngest daughter was gifted and beautiful and somehow managed to always succeed at everything she did. But the 2 eldest daughters sucked at everything they did, and they were always doomed to fail. Because of their younger sister's insane success, the 2 older sisters grew super jealous. Somewhere else in the place, wherever they are, there was a prince who met the young, talented, pretty sister somehow and fell in love with her. Oh, her name, by the way, is Nella. The 2 married each other in secret because the mother of the 3 sisters was a evil woman, apparently, and didn't want her daughter marrying the highest ranking aristocrat in all the land for some reason. Doesn't make sense. So, anyways, because their marriage was secret, the prince decided to make a magical underground crystal tunnel from the palace to his new wife's house, even though it was an 8-mile walk. So, the prince set up this magical crystal thingy and told Nella whenever she wants to see him that she should throw this magical powder stuff into her fireplace, and then he would see the signal and then come to her through the crystal tunnel. So the older sisters found out about their secret tunnel and decided that they wanted to put an end to it. So what they decided to do, instead of just telling their mom, was to get into the crystal tunnel somehow and then cut up all the crystals so that the prince would injure himself. So the next night, the prince saw the signal thingy and started walking through the passage. But because of what the sisters did, he got all sliced up and got all wounded. And he couldn't make it to Nella's house. So he went back to the palace and he got really, really sick. And everyone tried helping him in the palace, but no mortal medicine could help him because it was a magical crystal tunnel. So only magic can help. So he was really sick and dying. So his dad, the king, said whoever can cure his son would either have half of the kingdom or his son in marriage. So then Nella cried a lot and then decided that she should leave her house and go into the woods. So she disguised herself by painting on her face, and then she ran into the forest because that's the best solution. So she's wandering through the forest, and then she stumbles on this little cottage, and she can hear people inside. So she goes to the window and she sees an ogre and his wife. Hold up. So I actually got a few details wrong here. She should be in a tree listening to their conversation, and her face should be black with charcoal, not green. But green is cooler. So carry on. So the 2 ogres are talking, and Mrs. Ogre says that she wants to hear what's up in the kingdom, but Mr. Ogre's like, no, I know a secret that no one should know or else it would ruin us. And she's like, dude, you can't do that to me. You gotta tell me now. I promise I won't tell anyone. So he's like, okay, I'll tell you. And he says, so the prince right now is super sick and all sliced up. Yeah, so I know the cure to that because no mortal medicine is working. And the wife's like, no way, what is it? And then he's like, dude, you can't tell anyone or else we'll be ruined. She's like, dude, yeah, I know, I got it. Okay, what's the secret? So then he goes, so the secret to fixing his wounds is actually our fat. If you cut off our fat and then put it on his wounds, he'll be healed. And so then Nella was like, well, shoot, now I know the cure. So she went to the door and started pounding on it really loudly and really rudely and begged to stay for the night and have a bed and food. And at first, Mrs. Ogre was like, nah, I don't want her. But then Mr. Ogre's like, dude, let's let her in and let's eat her. So then they're like, yeah, okay, cool. So then they let Nella in. And then they got, super wasted. And then Nella cuts off a chunk of their fat. And then leaves. So then she goes to the palace with their chunk of fat still in disguise. And she goes to the king and she's like, dude, I have the cure. And then the king's like, dude, really? And then she's like, heck yeah. And the king is like, whoa, okay, come on, let's go, heal my son because he's dying. So then she goes off to the prince's chambers, and right as she puts the ogre fat on his wounds, they start healing. And then the prince is like, oh my gosh, you saved me. Thank you. That's incredible. And she's like, heck yeah, now I get to marry you, even though I already married you. But that's, wow, like, I get you in marriage now, because that's the deal. And then the prince is like, nah, my heart belongs to someone else. And actually, her sisters did this to me, so, like, that's terrible. And then Nella's like, no, dude, like, I'm that chick. Like, I'm the chick you dig. Like, wait, my sisters did this to you? And he's like, nah, like, my chick looks different. And then Nella's like, no, dude, look. And then she wipes off all her face paint stuff. And he's like, bro, it's you. And she's like, heck yeah, it's me. Hello. And then they, like, reunite and get all happy and whatever. And then, you know, the sisters get thrown into the oven. Because nothing goes unpunished and jealousy is wrong. Yep.